Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today we're just going to dive into a quick intimacy reading and see where the twins are at, or counterparts, where the masculines and feminines are at regarding intimacy and the connection, and what's coming up next. So thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through only the highest, most beneficial information for the twins that join me here, for the twin collective. Feminines on the left, masculines on the right, and connection space. Let's see what we've got. Guidebook. Okay, so Page of Shells for the feminines. Let's see what this says. The baby, the sweetheart, the charmer, the Page of Shells will fill your days in bed with laughter. She is pure of heart and easily finds joy, which is infectious. Messy, creative, and imaginative, she is the perfect partner for a lazy afternoon of dressing up and role play. Sometimes she may be enjoying playing the brat. So the feminine is feeling kind of lighthearted and frisky. So yeah, there is a real innocent energy coming in with the feminine, and yeah, baby, bratty kind of energy here. Feminines are, there's a bit of a spring-like energy. For the masculines, there's the Queen of Shells. So that's kind of a little bit more of a mature energy. There are two masculines in the picture, and I'm kind of getting here that it's the same masculine, different versions. Like the one laying in this queen's lap is the version of the masculine that wants to access this connection further, and the one that's sort of looking off blue for some reason is the one that's maybe icing out the connection, or looking away from it, or not allowing themselves to experience the lap of luxury is how I'm hearing it. This one says, the popular and people-pleasing Queen of Shells knows the arts of making one feel absolutely at ease. She is determined to use these powers to achieve security for herself and her loved ones. She will make sure her sexual style falls in line with your desires, however wicked. This queen is also best placed to provide sexual healing. So yeah, masculines are seeing you, Divine Feminine, as sexually healing right now. There's something about the Page of Shells and the Queen of Shells, the way the feminines express themselves right now and the way the masculines are seeing the feminines. There's something of the masculines knowing that they have two versions of themselves, one that is open to being nurtured by the queen, and one that is running still or playing hard to get. Even in the connection space, we have 7 of Roses and 7 of Candles. So we've got a 7-7 in the center. Let's see what those say. 7 of Roses. Don't invest in anything hastily. So there's a caution here. It says, slow down, don't overthink a situation, and that simply needs to run its course. Your patience and dedication will win out. So there is something between this playful energy and deep, deep, sincere healing that's happening right now that just needs time to roll. This did come out in the reverse with the caution, don't invest in anything hastily. So there may be a temptation for masculines to not fulfill the healing process and come forward in a particular way prematurely. They might be feeling like there's some sort of a pressure to come forward soon in a certain way. The feminines might be a little bit naive in this Page of Shells energy and not really giving quite enough sincerity to something happening right now, or maybe there's some impatience with that bratty energy. So everybody just needs to take a deep breath right now and realize there isn't actually any pressure on each other, but that the energy might feel a little bit like that right now because I'm hearing breakthroughs coming in for the collective. Okay, 7 of Candles. A victory that needs defending or upholding, once more with feeling. You want to prove yourself to someone. So both want to prove themselves to the other. Hastily, immediately, both want to, I'm feeling there is a, not defensiveness necessarily, but this need to really be seen for the true self. Both want the other one's attention in some way right now. There's something in the energy that is causing for a building of communication, the release of misconceptions. There seems to be some kind of an invitation in the energy for both to look at each other in a new way. The feminines are presenting in wanting to be seen as carefree, naive, bratty, playful, take the pressure off, and the masculines are looking for an invitation for deep, deep nurture and healing, and noticing where they're being a little melodramatic and resisting it. And then going into the future, we have Page of Roses in the reverse. So this is saying technical virtuosity shouldn't be a substitute for intimacy. At a certain point, stop studying and seek life experience instead. So I'm really getting that this is moving out of the self-pleasure and into physical interaction. So there's been a study period in the dynamics where possibly there's been an energetic fantasizing, self-pleasure, and now it feels as though that study period, getting to know each other in certain ways, is now giving way for true intimacy. I'm going to clarify that for each. So what is this motion towards more one-on-one personal intimacy in these connections? It does feel like the masculines are healing enough to actually feel safe to come forward a bit more, and the feminines are maintaining that joie de vie I just heard, so that they can hold the pure carefree frequency without making things too serious. There is a wide spectrum available now, a range of different energies that the masculine is seeing they can engage with their feminine. There's a timelessness here. But there is a need for more practical application and physical interaction coming in. So what can we see for the masculines regarding this? Yeah, they're starting to think of the long term. And I've had this a few times before where there's an opportunity to really take stock and get one's wits about them, so that there isn't just, the association with a sexual partner as lustful and taboo and risque. If we're in an established, committed relationship, sometimes there's a concern that the passion will drop off. And so the masculines are now starting to see that they don't have to fear that happening, that they could see how the creativity and the newness of these incredibly intelligent and ever-changing dynamics could actually produce a long-term intrigue, that they don't have to keep it at arm's bay to keep the false sense of impermanence and intrigue that way, that they could now explore the virtuosity of the connection more frequently, instead of causing an unstable dynamic by, almost breaking up a lot of times, or that push-pull. Sometimes that can give the illusion of fear of missing out and can keep people hooked. The masculines are starting to see that that's been a lower vibrational tactic, and that they're loved for who they really are is what I'm getting. And they don't need to play those kinds of games that give the impression that they don't want something real here. As the masculines heal more, it's like they're realizing they don't need to play those kinds of instability games to keep a divine feminine interested. The divine feminine doesn't stick around because of those games. They stick around because of more meaningful motivations. So the masculines are actually healing out of that insecure mode. Wow. What are the feminines realizing about this deepening of intimacy? The world also in the neutral. So they've really come to terms, masculines, with that you are the one person that checks all their boxes, that you actually offer everything they would need in a partner. You are the design that they have seen presented to them that is complete. They don't need to look elsewhere. Like, they're not going to be filling a void with other energies, because you truly are the full package. And yes, you don't need to play these games. That just frustrates your feminine. Because they are your perfect match, they have stuck around through those trust building or disruptive energies, but it's not why they've stuck around. That hasn't been the glue that's kept them there, masculines. What an interesting reading. So yeah, this kind of lower vibrational stuff is being seen at this time. Okay, let's have a look at what's coming up in the dynamics going forward, and what the masculines need to know and what the feminines need to know about those things. So let's see. Thank you, Divine Creator. What is the next steps in these connections at this time? What is ripe in the energy? What is playing out in the material realm? And what are the energetic awarenesses associated with that? What do the feminines need to know about what we're going to see? And what do the masculines need to know about these energies? Okay. Food for thought, conscious mind for the twins. Okay, working on things. There seems to be a focus on twin teamwork coming in, and how things could start grounding in the physical, in the 3D, 3 of coins here. The masculines are thinking about what these connections would be like in everyday life together, is what I'm hearing energetically. Adventure, exploration, and discovery. Yeah, they're open and curious. So feminines, your counterpart is starting to look at what it would be like to, this can sometimes, 3 of coins can be a marriage card. It can be, you know, the image of things. It can be what's happening in the 3D. So what do the feminines need to know about the masculines becoming open to explore and discover how it might look to have more living together, or more daily interaction, or more frequent interaction? 5 of Cups. This is a loss and grief card. So divine feminines might be feeling some of those missing out, grieving energies coming up right now, as the masculines are starting to focus on everyday life in these connections. You might be feeling a bit of a purge. You might feel tired. You might feel weepy. You might feel waves of emotion. You might be inspired to speak out certain things, to affirm certain things. You might be talking to friends and family, I just heard, about things that haven't worked out in the past. You might be hearing yourself expressing emotions today, Divine Feminines. This is because that's being purged out of the dynamics as the masculines are starting to get real and desire to have these connections more in the 3D. What are the masculines dealing with? So they're really seeing how they are not fully in their confidence, that if they were to come forward now, there would be a bit of an imposter syndrome. So this is where they're starting to plan and meditate on what daily life together will be like in this new energy. I'm getting the eclipses in October highlighted here. So they're giving themselves a few months to not panic, but start to think about the next steps, what that would look like. I'm specifically hearing to live together, and create a family together, and have, sometimes the Three of Pentacles has children there, like what would be beneficial, the lifestyle, different living situations, all of that, what's going to be conducive to a family and best for the children and all of that. So feminines are kind of off-gassing this emotionality, and the masculines are going into planning mode about what will need to be done to bring this into the physical more, to steward it into more of a physical expression. What are the counterparts being asked to look at consciously with each other? Oh, there's that darn Three of Pentacles. This, what would be best for the children? What kind of planning? So yeah, this is not only doing the personal work to see what could be beneficial, but looking at the details. It's like one step deeper, putting the work in to come out of separation and really focusing conscientious energy on what would be best. Sophistication, ingenuity, originality, and elegance. So these creative times call for creative measures, I just heard. So the divine masculines know that these are no small undertaking, that there are circumstances in these connections that are very sophisticated. They are not, if all of our twin connections were on Facebook, they would all say it's complicated under relationship status. And the masculines are really looking at, I'm getting a lot of masculine planning and analyzing here. Oh boy, it's getting real kind of energy, and they're really looking at solving some of the logistics in very elegant ways. So how is this affecting the feminines right now? The sun, you don't see this. You don't see right now how much sincere planning and thought your masculine is giving to taking care of details, considering options, thinking about possibilities, entertaining the seriousness of these connections, the sincerity of them, opening up the miraculous. What are the masculines dealing with here? Yeah, meditation. They're really looking at the truth that's being illuminated. Their third eyes are lit. On point right now, looking at how to streamline, how to get their thoughts in order, how to learn from the past. They have been watching and studying these connections. They are, they have the sun fully lit on their third eye, and you've got the sun in the inverse here. So you don't see how much they're thinking about how to make these connections work in the physical, how much planning. I just heard surprise, how much surprise they're going to offer here. They have a very ingenious, original way of solving some of the problems, the logistics in these connections. I just heard they want to sweep you off your feet, divine feminines, with this elegant, sophisticated solution they're coming up with. They know the love is real, and now they want to seal the deal, I just heard. I wanted this to be a collective reading, but we're really starting to blow your cover, Divine Masculines. We won't tell. What are the heart space energies for the collective? Wheel of Fortune. So everybody is giving more surrender to divine timing and divine intervention, giving it up to the greater good. Quantum continuator, there's the 44 coming in again. Self-sustaining systems, fluidity, and abundance. So everybody realizes that they are not threatened by these connections. In the past, we may have been more skeptical, but now we're starting to trust them. We've come into our own. We've started to feel whole on a daily basis, and now we know that the other one is not going to be a threat, that blending lives, it can only be exponentially better, that fluidity and abundance is coming in, and that's because we're paying attention to divine timing. So the hearts are being put at ease here, and there's a softening coming in. There's a trust in the process. The feminines, what are they experiencing? 8 of Cups. There is this gone but not gone, coming back around. No more deal breakers. So the feminines have learned to temper their emotions when they fear that the masculines are taking too much space, staying too quiet, not coming back with an answer, there isn't progress. The feminines aren't sweating it. They know that after all these cycles of returning and ebb and flow, that out of sight does not mean end, that there is just a different focus happening right now. And the feminines are learning to trust and give over to that divine timing and take care of their own energy in a self-sustaining way when things go quiet or when different, I just heard click, click, when different cycles and doors open and close in these dynamics. So we've just gone through a gateway, I just heard, and a new cycle has come in. What can we see for the masculines? Yes, they're wanting to come out of separation. They're wanting to heal the sadness. They're not wanting to have their depression, their mental instabilities, their worries projected on you anymore. And your dynamic divine feminines, they're taking control of their sloppy mental energy, I just heard, and they are really seeing how this love has been healing them and how they don't have anything to worry here, and that there's something far greater. I just heard they're waking up more and more to the fact that the divine has orchestrated these energies where they haven't believed that in the past. They're starting to see that the only way that you could stride with them, stride for stride, has been from this divine inspired angle, and that is calming their minds. Their performance anxiety, the pressure that they have to be your savior, is being taken off of them, and they're understanding that you're in this for your own reasons and that you're not putting undue pressure on them. Bravo, masculines. That is freaking amazing. That's what causes masculines to run, is when they feel like the feminines are not getting the story straight and they're putting the onus on the masculines to be the everything. When these connections fall into good on our own, balance, self-sustaining, that's where it can be exponential and where it's not a burden on the other. Codependency burdens are not a factor then. So this is what's happening. That's amazing. What's on the heart space for the counterparts directly for each other? Judgment in the reverse. So this is, the eyes are being opened to the safety right now, to the ways these connections are different than typical connections that we're used to having. Journey, exchange, transference. So yeah, there's a lot of shared information going back and forth right now in the energetic realms that's manifesting in the broader realities right now. So there are signs, synchronicities, but opportunities falling into place. There is new aha moments and epiphanies kicking off. What are the feminines dealing with? 9 of Pentacles. They're starting to feel like they are just simply not single, but still free to be themselves. There is a constant sharing of home-based energy. What are the masculines feeling? Yeah, they've got the 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So divine masculines are seeing how a lot of their preconceived notions about relationships have changed, how their eyes are being opened to a better way. This is reinventing the wheel. They thought they knew what relationships were about, all those cliche jokes, the ball and chain jokes I just heard. The masculines are putting those down and seeing that they truly have found a good one, a rare one, something they didn't expect to see in this lifetime, that they are actually loved. They're starting to see that. What are the wishes in the collective at this time? The feminines really just are wondering, when this is going to kick off on a new level. And we get hydrogen atom consciousness beginning in faith. The feminines are thinking that the masculines are off to surprise them right now. There's a brand new freshness coming in. We're no longer skeptical that we may not deserve love. We're starting to feel as though this has all been a great cosmic joke and that it's about to get good. There's an increasing number of people on the planet that are not settling for these Romeo and Juliet dire scenarios anymore. There's a whole lot of people anticipating that just around the next corner, these things are going to fall into place and get better. And that is creating a momentum in the collective that is generating mass unions about to come in. We generate this reality, and if we are in that excited anticipation collectively, 144,000 are, getting excited for real love to hit the planet. That's about to happen, people. How are the feminines experiencing this? 8 of Swords. Really taking self-accountability to get out of the faulty mindsets that are holding us in lackluster and joy kill. So feminines, keep taking those thoughts captive to free. It's kind of confusing sometimes when these emotions come out of nowhere. And I have to say, I've cried a few times today, and I have shared a lot of my most intimate vulnerability with my person today. I've really conveyed that. So there is a freedom coming in, and it's not sharing just to share, but it's getting out of the fear that sharing is too much. When you share from a place of real love, it doesn't matter how it's received initially. If it is actually authentically shared in love, you can't say the wrong thing, because energetically it's love. And that is the only eternal. So no initial response to love will stand a chance against real love. And so, there's a lot of waves of emotion being purged as we come into another layer of more and more authentic expression and ownership of real love. We're not taking fear for an answer. How are the masculines experiencing this new cycle? Bravery. They are being inspired in bravery. They're going off so they can come back a new person, a new expression. And this can be a new conscious beginning from a brand new. It's like a costume change between scenes. The masculines are going to get a different outfit on, a different set of shoes, a different thinking cap, and they're going to come back again as a new up-leveled version of self. I just heard. What are the actions the twins are taking? Mastery, accountability, and acceptance, and then destined path. So usually the star means there's a distant horizon to access. In the inverse like this, we have an immediate now kind of energy, and we have mastery now. How are the feminines experiencing this action? The Tower. It's like overnight the feminines have realized that they can just step into mastery. They don't have to be on a time release journey anymore. They can just suddenly say, wait a second, I am love, I love, I love, I know I love. That's my truth. And just, emanate and express and be in that love instead of lamenting a time when love will come. The feminines are saying, whoa, wait a second, I love. I knew I loved a while ago. Why am I not speaking about the love that I am, rather than, waiting or thinking it has to happen in the future. The feminines understand this is their instantaneous shift. They are accountable for presenting that which they are in full consciousness to the world. And if you are love, you must receive love in exchange. If you are truly love, that's the way it is. I am. I saw a Neville Goddard meme that said the only God is I am. And so if you are love, then everything that you reflect in your reality is also then going to be love. I am love. Say that. I am love. What are the masculines experiencing? Communication. This is going to be bringing communication to you masculines. It's available to you to communicate in mastery now towards your feminine. As your feminine now claims the love that they have become, the love that is here, the love they see in you, you are also being asked to open your throat chakra and communicate in kind. And that is not pressure. That is your preparation has been bringing you into the embodiment of this truth so that you can speak it unabashedly. I just heard, I never used that word. You know you're channeling when? Unabashedly. I don't even know the precise definition of that. But apparently the masculines have gotten that to that stage in mastery and acceptance of the love that you are, divine feminines. What's the biggest challenge at this time? This pause, resting. The feminines have offered something to the masculines that the masculines are receiving and contemplating to find their truth regarding. So this can be third-party options. There is no such thing as competition lack, but feminines, you have become love and you've offered that awareness to your masculine energetically, verbally, or otherwise, and now they are in this. Now we have auric cleansing, replenishment, renewal, and restoration. Your love has given the masculines permission to do this final healing. In the intimacy, you knowing your truth, feminine, has allowed for your masculine to not have any questions left about the love that you have for them. And so now they are able to allow that to make them feel good, to incubate in that frequency, to replenish their energy. You do the same, divine feminines. Replenish your energy and take this period of renewal so that you are refreshed. All day today, I've been yawning and feeling exhausted, like I took the weight of the world off of my shoulders, myself, and I know I'm going to sleep well tonight. Feminines, what are we getting? Queen of Wands. So this is, in the upright, this is fiery, charismatic, energetic, physically empowered. In the reverse, there is a need for sleep. I'm getting feminines. So there has definitely been an offering of peace to the masculines from the feminines, and now feminines, you're being asked to restore your energy by resting at this time. How are the masculines experiencing this? This has sealed the abandonment wounds, the original separation wound from the fall from grace, the knowledge of good and evil. This has returned the masculines back into the garden. This has brought them back into the knowledge of true love. Whatever has transpired in the collective has shown the masculines that they are truly, actually, authentically loved. And feminines, that has been a labor of love to bring that to your masculine. I'm feeling like a brick wall has been dismantled. There has been a brick wall of fear that has stopped certain expressions of love, and that has been leveled. And now there can be this deep seaming together of the dimensions, a wholeness returning. What is the biggest challenge for the collective right now? Chamber of communication, correspondence, declaration, and telepathy. So the jury is out. The emotionally available, transparent masculines versus the old armored, guarded. Who will win? The one closest to this communication is the open, emotionally available one. So the angels, the guides are mediating in the higher dimensions on behalf of these connections right now, I just heard. So there have been decrees, divine feminines, divine masculines. There has been energetic and material realm communication, and now the jury is out. Which masculines will heed this invitation to step unafraid into a new level of vulnerability and connection, and which ones need another cycle of strengthening, of humbling, of shedding guarded armor. Now, this can also be within you, feminines, your internal masculine that is still guarded against sharing your heart's truth freely and effectively. Your own inner masculine might still not be released. How are the feminines dealing with this energy? The world, they've done their best at this particular cycle of communication. So some have let it all out. I'm hearing that many in the collective have shared with their masculines their big picture, this update on where they're exactly at. The feminines also know, again, that their masculine is the full meal deal, that they are everything that the feminine has ever wanted, that their entire package is ideal for the feminine. They have 1000% understanding in who their person is. What are the masculines? Yes, they're all in. They are all in. So masculines are realizing with this correspondence, with the declaration of love, that they have never realized how much they want love like that in their life and how good it makes them feel. They're digesting it. This can sometimes be a card of gluttony. So the masculines are fully saphoncified right now, and really some have a bellyache with how darn sweet you are, and what you share with them is, feminines, they can hardly believe that it's real. It's so much to take in. There's so much plenty. There's so much abundance in these connections. The masculines are disarmed by it. I just heard they're so full their armor doesn't fit anymore. Good one, masculines. What is the solution to this challenge? Queen of Pentacles, that's my wifey card, and Divine Feminines. The solution is, now that you've come into your own and you've made your own way, your own abundance, now it's about letting your masculine in, being receptive to them coming into your life in the physical, no longer holding that developmental stage. We saw the page of shells in the first intimacy spread, that naive, playful, light-hearted energy that's inviting the masculines to come in and play a while. This perspective change, that there's been a lot of sincere processing, and now it's about offloading that burden so that there can be a freshness coming in, this new perspective, ideals, and belief that shift you from working at becoming worthy and knowing your worthiness to now knowing that and receiving the lightness of the connections in. What are the feminines dealing with that? Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is new passion. There is an ignition happening. I'm hearing conception for some. So some are going to be conceiving children in this new motion, that there is a playful invitation to start including the masculines physically, and to get used to these connections not always being in escrow, but actually coming into the physical. And masculines, this is, the 3D again. This is the energetic knowing it's time to start coming into. The energetic realm is bringing you into more physical proximity now. Beliefs are shifting. There is a non-traditional commitment and synergy here. There's an ignition. There is a call. I'm hearing this this is presenting as an energetic call. I'm hearing spirit babies are around these couples, And even the masculines are feeling that pull right now. What is the direction of the connections in the near future? Passion, discernment, discipline, and order, 11. So both are manifesting certain timing with the sexual connection. There is something very ancient with the Sphinx here calling the twins. There is a discipline and order. There's a discernment, seal of subtle luminosities. So it's about timing. It's about coming together and being very true to where it's mutually attractive and being honest about that. So there are these brewing energies, and I'm hearing for once the sexual attraction is feeling continuous and more grounded. How are the feminines experiencing this? 3 of Wands, they're just open to it. They are open for it. They're willing to be surprised. They are receptacles. They are receptive to it. And the masculines, the Empress, the pregnancy card. So this is sort of like copulation, I'm hearing. There is a different kind of invitation emerging in the collective where it's full on, where many have never made love with this degree of knowing the love is real between the two. And that is absolutely stunning. Wow, you lovers out there. Let's get a card. Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings.